Hi everybody, doing the Gen Con wrap-up video from the place where a lot of things really started. It was in this very room that I announced that I was going to be on the Dice Tower going forward, and here we are just about 2 years later, and well, now we're doing a Gen Con wrap-up. So I'm finally at my grandson's and we're having a great time. Been enjoying today. I hope you enjoyed the Godzilla Bank video and a few other things. I'll be home Wednesday night and things will get back to normal. I've got a lot of announcements as far as the Patreon is concerned, the Mugala Invader contest, the winners there and all that. We're going to save it all for when I get home. But right now we're going to talk about my thoughts and wrap up Gen Con 2017, the 50th year edition. Well, there was a lot of expectation going in, and a lot of it was that this was going to be an overwhelming experience for a lot of people. And a lot of people that I ran into were first-timers and were just overwhelmed at the enormity of it. And this being my second year, I have to say that it was pretty big. And I don't think you ever get used to how big it really is. But there were some really great surprises at this year's Gen Con. I got to go by the Too Many Bones booth. I really enjoyed talking with the people there, and they were very kind to me and very nice to me. Anything, information I needed or anything I needed, they were willing to jump out of their shoes, and I want to thank them with all my heart. I also want to thank Academy Games for being so kind. Uwe, you are the best, and he gave me some really nice miniatures to paint up, and I can't wait to get started on that project. Not only that, but what was a surprise to me was 878 Vikings is finally out, and it debuted at Gen Con. And if I knew that, that probably would have been in my top 5 easy. And I can tell you right now, it is in my top 5. We're going to do, after we do our box, unboxing, which is this Thursday, we're going to do it live this year. So you can see all the stuff that we got from Gen Con. We're going to do the top games that we felt were at Gen Con 50. Probably get that done next Monday, a week from now, once we get everything in and we go through everything, and we get to play with some of the stuff over the weekend, some of the surprises. There were a lot of things that I was surprised that was there. A lot of independent coverage I tried to give you guys, instead of just giving you the same old you know, what everybody else was going to do, you know, the TI4s and the Legions. Instead, I had some fun with my good friend Sam. Speaking of reviewers, there were a lot of reviewers there. Some were just absolutely wonderful. Others were complete idiots. And I can tell you this much, you know, if they pride themselves on getting their way paid there by ripping people off and just sitting there and drinking the money away, well, there's a few of them that did that, and that, for me, was disgusting unto itself. But let's talk about the positive things. Let's talk about Rodney Smith, who came over and said hi and made his way, especially over to say hi to me, and we got to talk for a little bit. Man vs. Meeple, those guys were just always so wonderful to talk to. I got to talk to them a few times. I'm trying to think who else really stuck out. Oh, I got to meet Anthony from Ant Labs. Very nice guy, and his girlfriend seems very kind, and both very good people. Believe it or not, we met in the weirdest place, a gift shop. So go figure that one out. Just people just coming up and talking to me. Of course, Undead Viking, all the great contributors from the Dice Tower, and of course I got to spend time with one of my best friends, Sam Healy, and another good friend, Z Garcia, which every time we get together it's a laugh fest. It was good seeing Mark Street. I got to meet the Happy Luza, who Boy, what a character! What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy. And I'm trying to think of some of the other people. So if I missed out on some of you, I apologize. But it was more positive experience than the normal jerks that are just trying to make a name for themselves. But you know, you guys are very, very smart. This is a very intelligent audience. And I'm not just talking about the people that subscribe here. I'm just talking in general. You know, people try to take you for fools. But the truth is you're very, very smart people, and you know the people that are fake, and you know the people that are sincere. And I like to think myself as a pretty good judge of character, and through this whole thing, I think I did that. Now, back to Gen Con and some of the awesome, fantastic things that I saw. Fantasy Flight is still one of the top companies and will be for quite some time. All they have to do is say Star Wars and people will line up for miles. And trying to get some of the things that they decided to drop, there was no way I was getting close to that booth. Just no way. They announced Legion, which looks really, really cool, but after watching the rule set a little bit, I'm a little on the fence about that, the same way I was with Rune Wars. TI4, of course, dropped. You know, hey, what can we say about that? You know, that's one of Sam's favorite games. I enjoy the game. Roy, another great guy I got to spend and get to know a little bit better from the Dice Tower. He loves that game, and the both of them were just thrilled over it, and some of the nuances as they got a chance to play it a few times. Another couple of companies that really stood out for me was I was kind of confused with the whole Cool Mini or Not thing. They came there demoing a lot of stuff. There wasn't really anything that was really popping. Of course, they had the great, you know, people got a chance to win Rising Sun, which is always a home run. You know, anything Eric Lang. Massive Darkness unveiled, but that was kind of a mixed thing due to the fact that a lot of the Kickstarters didn't get it yet, and here it is at Gen Con. See, some of the mixed feelings about Kickstarter, but we'll save that for another day. But it was there, and people were able to purchase it. They've got a couple of cool things really coming out. There's a game called Hate, which the miniatures are just absolutely fantastic for, and they had a few other things that were really going to be some surprises. Monolith was a big surprise with the Joan of Arc. I saw the Batman game, looked fantastic. The Pathos, I think it is, or Mythos, that one is coming soon. It's kind of in the same vein as Conan, I believe. I'm not 100%. I didn't get to check that out as much as I was checking out Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc had my interest. They had beautiful buildings with it. You play it on a tile base, and it's a story that goes on, and the miniatures look superb. It's something I really want to get my hands on. They really are. Monolith is firing on all cylinders, especially after Conan. Portal Games, of course, First Martian was a big hit. They were selling them like hotcakes. Something that that really caught my eye, and something I've talked about through the year, was Kingdom Death Monster. I didn't realize how big a game this and how strong and powerful their following is. They have a wonderful following. I believe the two guys that designed the game were there, and you couldn't even get close to them. I was able to take some scans and some pictures of things, but those guys, I'll tell you right now, those guys are rock stars, and there was such a buzz at that whole area, and the line to even try to get some of the stuff was through the roof. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a set. I hopefully somehow, some way, can get a set so I can put this thing together, paint it, and review it for you guys. We'll see how it goes. I mean, the models, I looked at a lot of the different models, and I was just blown away by it. I really would like a chance at maybe getting my hands on that at some day. But what I was amazed at the quality of the booth, the excitement at the booth, it was one of the more exciting booths in Gen Con. Games Workshop, Shadow Spire. Wow. All right, it looks really good. It's a smaller game. It really, really, really looks good. And you know, I wanted to get them to demo it on camera for you, and of course it could not be done, but it will be out in November. I think that is really going to be something really on a different type of scale, and it's a different type of rule set, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So we'll see how that turns out. And of course, Games Workshop with a massive, massive announcement about Necromunda coming back. Wow. I mean, what more can you say about that? One of the all-time classics. We thought that the game Armageddon was supposed to be the Necromunda, but actually the real thing is coming. So I'm very excited about that, and I think you guys should be too. Another big surprise for me was something that really caught my eye, and that's the Pazio booth with Starfinder. It looked fantastic. I had a few people talk to me about it. I was checking it out, and let me tell you something. I'm very excited about that. I really like to see. I love things in the sci-fi setting. I think it just really stands out. There were some really cool independent things that I tried to take some video of and put up. One of the things that got me was Enchantress. I really liked how that played out. We were able to get that up pretty quickly. But some of the other things that he had there, the tiles and some of the other stuff, just a really, really nice job by a small independent company. We'll talk more about this going forward. Fallen Land was another one. I love it seeing games that people put as a labor of love, that they put their heart and soul into it, and they really believe in it. And Fallen Land, post-apocalyptic board game, it's kind of an epic game, big story to it, and it's ever-changing. It really caught my eye, and really made an impression on me. It was nice to do the video for those guys. I was really excited about it. And some of the other companies that really shined, Yellow was having a great year with everything that they had going on, Mountains of Madness. Ares did a wonderful job really getting out Swords and Sorcery. I couldn't get a Galaxy Defender if I wanted to. Those things were just sold out and on their way out the door. Going forward, some of the booths, some of the people were really nice. The thing one of the things that I was very disappointed about is one of the games that I couldn't get was Combat Infantry. They said it was going to be there. It never made it there by Columbia Games, and that was one of the few war games that I was really looking for. I would like to see next year, I'd like to see GMT there more. I like to see Dan Verzin, Mark Walker, you know, some of these big war game publishers. I showed you guys a little bit of the auction, but I didn't explain what was going on. Is that a lot of these war games were being sold, but they were, you know, the person that had them wanted to sell them top dollar. People that wanted to buy them didn't think they had that value, so a lot of them kept on going back. The thing I really want to see, and I said it in the video, people like Academy Games, DVG, let's not forget Days of Wonder with Memoir, and some of these other companies that I was trying to get to talk to, but it was just impossible to talk to some of those. They're really bringing along things in a different light. And I think it's a good gateway to some really good war and miniature war gaming that needs a little breath of life. I'd hate to see it die out. And it's up to my generation to really take people's hands, because board gaming is as big as it can be, and show them the past, the present, and the future. And I think that's important in any aspect of gaming. It's important to know where board gaming, the regular board game just came from, let alone war gaming or miniatures, you know, and just pass it on, so that this is a hobby that'll always be there and not be annihilated by the electronic age. let's see, what were some of the other things that really stood one thing that I do have to talk about is I got to spend some time with Chris, who is taking care of Big Trouble in Little China. Wow. This game looks fantastic. I'm excited about it. It comes out in November. I told them the minute it comes up on the website, let me know, because I'm having one purchased and sent to my house. They're taking pre-orders on it. The miniatures are beautiful. He had somebody from New Jersey paint those guys, and those were dead on. That guy has talent beyond human belief. There are people that are just out there that are just talented. I really wanted to take and try to do the speed painting, but time didn't allow with all the meetings that I had going on and things like that, and my obligations to the Dice Tower booth. But I was able to go up there and look around. Painting strong, role playing is very, very strong at Gen Con, and I was just absolutely thrilled with all the wonderful, wonderful people that were there, just having great times. A lot of the people were just kind and very, very nice, whether they approached me or another reviewer, or or YouTube channel or podcaster or whatever. It was just really nice to see such a strong community and camaraderie. There were a couple things that I didn't get a chance to take a look at. There was a Western miniature game. I kept on trying to go over there and get somebody's attention, but they were very busy. It was something that was outside the scope, so that I didn't get to. But some of the games that I saw and I'm excited about, I ended up bringing home. But I want to save that for the unboxing, because there's a story with every single thing that we look at. And that's Thursday at 7 o'clock. I'm very excited. Every year we do this. I'm always excited to really put it all together on all the stuff that we got from Gen Con. There were some things that, a lot of stuff that was there, a lot of booths were there where, well, it's coming to Kickstarter here, it's coming to Kickstarter there, and the way to jumpstart it is to get it in people's minds at Gen Con. But for me, I want to have things in my hands, be able to try things, be able to, if I really like it, bring it home. Well, another thing that really caught me off guard was Folklore. I was really Folklore: The Affliction. It looks fantastic. A game called Unearth. Z talked about it. It looks fantastic. Photosynthesis really stood out in my mind as a game that really looked wonderful and played very well, and it was very popular and people playing it. Starfinder was just all over the place. I was really blown away with how much of that was all over the place. Let's see. There were some really cool things that stood out as far as different kinds of accessories and stuff like that. A lot of people are making tables, but I'm telling you, when Berkey puts up his game the game stoppers, I'm telling you right now, that is a home run, because it is so affordable and looks absolutely fantastic. It's something that I really think people should take a look at. Trying to think what else. Fate of the Gods looks fantastic. Another Richard Launius creation. I mean, I always like everything that he does. I got to see Pandemic 2. They kind of showed off a little of that. That looked really, really good. I think that's something that I'm going to try. I'm going to do the two legacies back to back. I want to do Pandemic Legacy, which we haven't even touched yet, and then go right into Pandemic Legacy Season 2. I think that would be a nice combination there. WizKids really up in their game, especially since Zeb's there. Some of the things that I saw were just fantastic. Tomb of Annihilation looks absolutely fantastic. Tournament of Camelot is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful game. Just really some standout games that they had, opening up the salvo of games. And let's see what else was there that really kind of caught my eye. There were a couple of things that I was really kind of on the fence with. There were a couple of games that I was also very disappointed in, and I'm not going to really talk about those. I think we'll talk about them as they release and people talk more about them. I'm not here to put an elbow into anybody, but I will answer you guys honestly if you ask about a certain game. There was one game that a person had, and just because it had a couple of metal components and played on a cloth, they wanted $100 for. And I said, the game looks interesting, but wow, I mean that's a little steep. So I was a little shocked by that. Let's see. Those are the things that really stand out in my mind. And I think, you know, overall, it was just a fantastic experience. Getting to see everything and everybody. And I had a great couple of days. And I look forward to this Thursday when we're going to be unboxing everything. GenCon 2017, the 50th edition, only proves one thing. With all the Kickstarters that they were showing off that are coming out, that the next year is going to be a very strong year. Okay, we've got things like Rambo coming out, which are going to be fantastic. Hopefully, Secrets of the Lost Station gets funded. That's got about 8 days left. That'll get funded. There are a lot of things that are going to be coming up on Kickstarter that if they get funded, this next coming year it's just going to be absolutely fantastic, and can't wait until we get to even look at GenCon 51. But before we start looking way ahead and start wishing our lives away, we've got enough to keep us busy for the second half of this year. And boy, we're going to show it off. We're going to be playing it all weekend. I hope you all will join us. I want to thank everybody for their support while we were there. All the people that came up and said hello, that took the time to come there to either interview me or talk to me. I can't thank you enough, and I can't tell you how much it means to have you part of this channel. Without you guys, this channel's nothing. And I am blessed to have each and every one of you to watch this and be a part of it each and every video and week. So tomorrow you have Champions of Midgard with the Jarl. He's back for one night. Tuesdays are going to be his night, so we're going to have the Jarl every Tuesday. This week, Thursday, we've got the unboxing, like I said. We'll also have another live video talking to the patrons, the Mugla Invaders winners, and some other cool announcements that we're going to be having this week. Friday, Saturday, it's all day gaming. I hope you'll join us. We're going to be streaming a marathon live, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, without further ado, thank you so much. GenCon 50, you're in the books. It's ready to put it behind us, and let's start looking forward to a great year of videos as we start working to the end of our year and getting ready for our next venture. Until next time, I'm Rob Warren. We'll see you soon.